Hi guys, welcome back to Event Pros Let's Talk. If you're joining me for the first time, my name is Carline. I'm an event designer, creative director and owner of Events by Carline, an event production company. And I'm so excited to talk to you today about the topic of joining an event industry association. So I've always been a big supporter of joining an association, an event industry association, because there's so many resources that come from, joining one. I remember when I first started, and I always go back to when I first started because, when you're learning and you're growing, you don't know these things and you're trying to find yourself. And I remember I had an amazing mentor, from George Washington University where I got my event management certification, and she was such a big help. Christy, I love you. But she was such a big help because she was the one who told me about, event industry associations and what, all the resources that come from there. And so she sent me, a list of associations, and she said, Carline, find your way and figure out which one is best for you. So as I did that, I can't even begin to tell you what an amazing experience that has been for me with my professional goals and my career in general. There are so many different resources that come from there. There's educational support, there's networking support. For everybody, it's going to be very different, which association works for you. I'm going to list them all down below. There's so many that I can't even begin to tell you. And I think it'll be best if I just list them below, so you'll kind of go through them and see. I'll provide the links as well, so that way you can, you can do your own research when you have some time. Go over each one. Every association offers really a whole different avenue into the event industry. So there are associations that are for networking specifically. There are associations that are for weddings. There are associations that are for catering and restaurant management. There are associations that are, for meeting professionals. So as you go through the list, based on what your goals are and what your interests are, find out which ones work for you. Joining an event industry association is an opportunity to never stop learning. There's so many educational value in joining an association that you really want to take advantage. There are things like conferences, workshops, webinars, seminars. It's just so many learning opportunities to stay on top of trends and changes within the industry. That's going to help you provide the best service to your client, because you have to stay in the know of all the changes. Things are constantly changing within the industry. Technology is changing. Our political grounds are changing. Everything is changing so often that joining an association will offer that educational value to you, to add to your services and to make sure that you stay within your stay growing professionally. You meet so many different people that offer so many different services, whether, services like your own, where you can actually help, each other in learning, maybe you're making, doing something that someone else, has never tried out before, and vice versa. You learn from each other. There are other, just growing your network in a sense where, you're meeting so many other professionals that do so many other different things that you can partner up with, that will definitely help, the services that you provide to your client. So it's an amazing experience, the relationships that you build, throughout the years of, being a part of an association. You want to take advantage of that. So how do you figure out which event industry association is the right one for you? You have to do your research. There's no way around it. It may be time consuming, but it is the best thing that you're going to do for yourself. Because there's no way to really know unless you really look into, what each association offers, and if it's going to align with your professional goals, and if it's going to align with your interests. So take your time, go through the website. Each association also has a membership committee. So if you have any questions, call up the committees and find out, ask them the million and one questions that you have. They're usually so open into answering, questions to, to interested members. So they're not going to shut you down. They're going to be very open into, answering any questions that you have. So take the time and, and go through that process. Associations have events all the time. So attend some of the events, and by doing that, you're going to meet different members that are there. You're gonna, get to learn more hands-on about what the association is about and what they offer. That's how you're gonna really get to know if you click with that particular group or not. That's how you're gonna get to know if they really, align with the professional goals that you have. You have to attend some of the events. There are membership fees associated with joining an event industry association. So you want to make sure that you look into fees that are associated with each different association that you would like to join in. And just for starting out purposes, stick with at least 2, and then if you want to, add on later on, you can do so. There are also student discounts that you can take advantage of. I know certain associations have membership fees that are way less for students. So if you're a student, definitely take advantage of the student discounts. So as a member of an association, you want to volunteer. That is one of the biggest things that I can encourage an event professional to do. You're going to learn so much more being hands-on. So you want to take advantage of that. Being a volunteer, what does that mean? Join the board, join the committee. It allows you as a member to be active. It's, and being an active member, you get so much more opportunity than if you were just to sit back and not. So some things that I have done, to contribute to the event industry associations that I have been so fortunate to be a part of, include the vice president of YEP, which is the Young Events Professionals Association. I am also the president of WAM, which is the Wedding Associations of Manhattan. I am also one of the lead organizers for programs on the programs committee of ILEA, which is the International Live Events Association. I am also a participating member of ABC, which is the Association of Bridal Consultants. I have found these event industry associations to be really valuable to me, which is why I've done so many. It's been, based on my professional goals, I've just added on as I needed to, and I've just extended my network. So those were, some really, I can't even express to you like how much the association that I have been, fortunate to be a part of has been, has added to my professional goals and to my personal goals, and the friendships that I have made there. It's just awesome. Awesome experience. So you should definitely make sure that you volunteer, give your time, and you don't just start off you'll start off as a member, yes, but as you get to learn more about the association that you're a part of, you want to find ways to really get into that, into volunteering. So a question that I usually get asked is, do you gain clients from joining an event industry association or a professional organization? You have to build these relationships. So usually when you go to an association event, it's usually a networking, type of environment where you're walking around with your business cards and you're handing them out. By the end of the night, you've collected, the business cards that you think are going to be most valuable to you, and you've handed out your cards to those who you think is going to also add to your network. You should definitely follow up with an email. And I always suggest that you include a little, photo of yourself within the email, signature, so that way the person who you're responding to or following up with is going to remember who you are. You may have had the greatest conversation, but at the end of the night, if you're collecting like 100, business cards, you're not going to remember who everyone is. So by having a little photograph of yourself within that email structure is going to, strike the person as, oh my God, yes, I remember this person. We had a great conversation. Invite them to, to follow up with maybe a lunch, or, get some coffee, and, do a sit down. So that way you can have, some one-on-one time with, building that friendship, building that relationship. People are going to start to trust you more. Your credibility is going to start to build within that community of your network. So you're going to potentially gain more clients that way, because if someone remembers you, and someone is, let's say, looking for a florist, the associations have a Facebook, some sort of social media connection, so they're going to send out maybe an email or a post saying, hey, does anyone know anyone who does this particular service? So if that person is you, they're going to be like, oh yes, I remember this person does that, and they're going to refer that client to you. So those are different ways of making sure that you gain the credibility that you need to build when you first come into an event industry association. Other ways of gaining clients is stepping outside of the event industry. And that's a big deal. Because depending on what your interests are and what your services that the services that you provide, you can actually network outside of the event industry community. So when you do that, you're opening up yourself to potential clients, because within the event industry, yes, you're gonna gain a gang of networking opportunities, but gaining clients that actually have interest in what you do can sometimes be outside of that community. So take that into consideration, and that's when you're gonna do an extensive research to see what associations outside of the event industry is going to work for you. So to all my friends at YEP, ILEA, NACE, and ABC, WHAM, love you guys so much, and I thank you for all that you've done for me professionally in my in just being a part of my network. To all the members that that I've built relationships and friendships with throughout the years, I love you guys. And so I hope that all of you that are out there that are looking for an association to join will consider these associations as a valuable resource as you're building yourself professionally. So I hope this video was helpful in helping you to figure out and to understand and to know about the event industry associations that are available to us as professionals, because like I said, that's going to be an invaluable resource for you as you're building yourself professionally within this industry. So you really want to take advantage of those resources that are provided within joining an association. And like I said, take your time, do your research, attend events, follow up with emails when you get a chance to. Make it a priority to to build those relationships, because that's what's really going to help you out later on as you begin to grow. And so if you have any questions about any of the associations we spoke about today, or any comments or questions at all, please post them in the comment box below, and I'll be sure to get to them as soon as I can. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification button so that you know when the next video is coming out. You can follow me on IG at Events by Carline and at Events Pros Let's Talk. I can't wait to see you guys next time. Bye.